Okay, guys, I'm ready to get started with my research project. As you can see, my question is, did Star Wars really almost cause a real war? And I did a little bit of research and found this web page here that's got the information I need in it. Okay? So let's go to my research project notes. And this is my first source. And it says, put source information in MLA format here. Okay, well, how do I do that? Go to my little helpful links and do citation machine. And the link I got you set up with already takes you to the MLA. Now, choose your source. It says website, book, journal, or I can do other stuff here. I can look, it's newspaper, film, online, brochure, pamphlets in here somewhere, email, blah, 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 blah. But this is a website, so I don't need to worry about it. Just click website, and it says enter the URL. All right, so let me get the URL. That's the web address at the top of the bar there. And I'm going to stick it in here and search. Bad thing about MLA or about Citation Machine is the ads are very, very annoying. Okay, here we go. How did Star Wars nearly... This is the one, for commonplace fun facts and all. So I hit cite. And it's going to look for the information for us. But this is a computer program, so it's not always going to find it correctly. So let's double check. Article title. How did Star Wars? Yep, that's the right one. We know the URL is correct. Website title, commonplace fun facts. There it is. Usually you find that at the top. Okay. Date access is the day's date. That's always today's date. But date published. This is when the person posted the article. August 28th, 2020. So let me look. Usually it's found somewhere near the top here, right here underneath the article title. Yep. It might also be found at the bottom of the article. Well, usually it's one of those two places if you have one. You will not always have a date. And if you don't, you don't. Okay? It's okay. So I'm going to hit continue. All right. Now, it's looking for the author because it couldn't find it. I know commonplace fun facts is not the last name of an author, so I can get rid of that one. And I know this is Dirk Dieklen, and the last name says that's not right. Commonplace. All right, so it couldn't find it. So let me look for one. Typically, an author will be right here underneath the article title, and I don't see one. Or it might be over here on the right side of the page, like a little about the author, and I don't see one. I'll scroll down to the beginning of the actual article, and I don't see a name. I'll scroll down to the end of the article. I don't see a name. I'll just keep scrolling just to see. Oh, there's that Dirk. No, Dirk Dieklen's in the replies, so that's where it picked that up from. Okay, yeah, I don't see an author. That's okay. Sometimes you have an author, sometimes you don't have an author. So there's no author. I'm going to go right on down here. Publisher sponsor. You'll find a publisher sponsor if there is one at the bottom near a copyright date. And I don't see a copyright date unless my little tools are hiding it. Yeah, I don't see one. Okay. So let's move on to create complete citation. Now, it's going to keep a list of all my citations right here. That's nice. All right. So, and you can log in and create an account with Citation Machine if you like, just to make sure you miss it. But there it is. And if you happen to find, you realize, oh my gosh, I'm on APA or I'm on something else, you can just hit change style and it'll change it for you. But there it is. This is what it looks like. So I'm going to hit copy citation. I'm going to go back to my research project notes. And it says, put source information in MLA format here. I'm just going to get rid of that word and put it there. Now, notice it doesn't have it in nice, neat reverse indent like it shows it here. Has a nice little reverse indent, but we can fix that later. Then the next thing says, put what the in-text for this source would look like here. And I could come over here and it says copy in-text citation, but let me go ahead and tell you this. Citation Machine stinks at creating in-text citation. And in-text citation is so simple, you don't need a website to do it for you. Let me show you real quickly. It's right here on your research project notes. Helpful links, how to create in-text. So the in-text is the author's last name inside of parentheses. If my website looks like this, my MLA looks like this, I just take the author's last name and I put it inside parentheses. That's what the in-text will look like. If you don't have an author, like we don't on the one that we have right here, you just pick the first word of the title, maybe the first two words, if the first word is like an article or a number or something, and you keep it in quotation marks, but you still put parentheses around it. Duke Stinks is my page title, so I put it in quotation marks and put parentheses around it. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and use two words here because how's kind of a weird one there. So I'm going to put my parenthesis, how did, parenthesis. Boom, that's it. That's all you have to do for in-text. That's simple. It gets a little bit harder if you have a book or if you have lots of sources with the same author's name or things like that, but we're not going to worry with it just now, okay? Then the next thing says, put one piece of information in an incomplete sentence. Why an incomplete sentence? Because if I write it in a full sentence, I'm likely to copy from my source accidentally, okay? All right, so let's say the first thing I want to put in is that George Lucas had big dreams for Star Wars, blah, 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 big hero. The rebels end up being Luke Skywalker, planet Tatooine. Lucas found a Tatooine-like location on his home planet, the deserts of Tunisia. All right, so let me put this information into an incomplete sentence. Tunisia desert, Tatooine. All right, I know that means he picked the Tunisia desert to be Tatooine. And if I don't like it, this light gray, I can always change the colors over here. And I can put another piece of information in a complete sentence here. That's it, just one on that little thing here. And then another piece of information in an incomplete sentence, and another piece of information. Until I run out of good information, I do not have to fill up all of these. I might only get this one piece of information, or maybe two, or maybe I'll get a few here. Notice this last one says, put one piece of information in an incomplete sentence here, or one quote in quotation marks. Now, I say to go ahead and put it in quotation marks so you remember it's a quote, but let me go ahead and tell you this. The first rule of quoting is do not quote. Okay? You better only put a quote in if it is vital. It is so important because I have set up Turnitin to flag quotes as plagiarism, as copying. So if you end up with like, well, Mr. Alford, I have 52%, but it's just similarity, but it's just quotes. That means you have quoted over half of your paper, okay? We don't need that. Now, once I have done, if I need more notes, I can just, hit slide, duplicate slide, and give myself an extra page of notes. That's fine, all right? When I get to my second source, I'll do it all over again. My third source, fourth source, and so on. I gave you room for 8 sources, but you probably won't use all 8. It's okay if you don't use all 8. And there you go. That's how you use the citation machine and the note sheet.